Welcome to Come Well to Am I as I Am, As You Are. Visit asyouare.com today and purchase your products, book our services and consultations, and enroll in the classes and courses. Visit asyouare.com today. Now, without further ado, let's begin today's show. Yes, welcome back to Am I as I Am, As You Are. Today's show and video is going to be a part two, a continuation to the last part, which is part one. This is going to be part two. There was a few more points I didn't get to touch upon and expound upon. So I'm just going to run right through it, jump right into it. If you guys remember the topic was, do you see the doors? Now, let me just jump right into the topic and jump right into the doorway. We take it from there. Now, I'm going to explain basically the relation and connection of the heart chakra and the Kajrij-A, or the door. What is the relation between the heart chakra and the doors that we see, that we are seeing, that are appearing? When talking about door openings in relation with the chakra system, the middle door, or Kajrij-A, is the heart chakra. Now remember, Kajrij-A is the ancient tongue or the ancient pronunciation of the understanding of a door or a doorway, which was a vortex. We called it the Kajrij-A. When talking about door openings in relation with the chakra system, the middle door, or Kajrij-A, is the heart chakra. So we treated our heart chakra as a Kajrij-A, as a door or doorway or vortex to enter into another portal of existence. Through this door is the only place and space where divine balance between the root chakra and the crown chakra occur. The only place and space in existence where the root chakra and crown chakra meet. As you raise from the root upward, as you begin to raise your chakra system, you're exercising these energy points, these energy centers in your body. As you raise up from the root upwards, the crown simultaneously descends downward. As you raise upward, the crown descends downward to match the steps of the root. Because in reality, they're actually just one force mirroring each other. It's one force mirroring each other. This is not like it's on different bases or different levels or different platforms. It's one force. So whatever happens down here is happening up here simultaneously. Whatever is happening up here is happening down there at the same time. The reason why this thing mirrors is because it's trying to meet in the middle, in the doorway, in the heart chakra, to access the Kajrij-A. This is why it mirrors each other. It's actually one force. The whole chakra system is one force. It's not 7 different forces. It's one force, one intelligence. Now, this is something to keep in mind when we were dealing with passionate lovemaking between man and woman in times of antiquity. This is the intention in which our sexual activities and intimacies were governed and guided within, in order to remain present and keep present the Kajrij-A when it presented itself, in order to access it. This also goes to the story of the mythology of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva and Shakti is the chakra system. Shakti, chakra, Shiva. So you can say, I guess Shiva may be, for sake of understanding, maybe the crown chakra. Shakti is the root chakra. When Shiva, so Shiva's destination is to meet Shakti. This is why he needs to meet her down here, but he's up here. So as he comes down, as he descends, she rises. And when they meet in the heart. And as mythology goes, the universe gets destroyed when they make passionate love, which is the heart. Now, I'm going to bring the understanding of how the universe and the cosmos is even tied to what I'm talking about with the Kajiri's eye and the doors and the doorway and so on and so forth. So Shiva and Shakti is one force. They're not a man over here and a woman over here, or a god over here and a goddess is over there. He's over here and she's over there. No, it's one intelligence, one force, one energy. Or two energies that come in unison to produce one force, because it's actually just one intelligence, just two different names. You know, it's like my face. There's the left ear and there's a right ear, but it's on one head. So that's kind of the understanding of Shiva and Shakti. They're not two separate things. They're one energy, one intelligence that works in unison with each other to produce one cosmic spiritual force. Okay? And mythology goes as well that when they separated, or when they were separated, the universe formed. So when they come back together, the universe explodes and destroys. Now, it's not talking about no universe out there. It's talking about the universe in you, the biosverse, the celluverse, or the cellular verse within you. It's literally within you. Let me not get too far off at the moment. The Ka, Jiraj, A were square or rectangular, while we have these doors, including this window behind me. We have these doors, and our doors, our bedroom doors, you know, our doors to our home, wherever you see doors at, most doors are square and rectangular. The Kajrij A were square or rectangular, representing what is known as Zodikayas, which is the zodiac in the temple of Dendera. There's a square zodiac relief or engraved stone engraved in the temples, and it was engraved in a square or rectangular kind of shape. So the zodiac that we see that's circular, it wasn't always circular. It was also depicted within the shape of a rectangle. Within the shape of a rectangle. It was also depicted as a rectangle as well. So this is why we have these doors now that are rectangular in our home, but it actually represents, according to our ancient system and spiritual system, it also represents a universe. You know, so that's why you walk through a door and you find yourself in a dimension called a room, or a living room, or a bathroom, or a kitchen, wherever you have a door at. And you walk in that room because you walk in that realm. So all these things tie in, is going to tie in. These doors that appear in our front view can also be examined and understood as black holes. Just like the black holes in our universe, or like the black holes in our universe. That's why more and more black holes are being seen and discovered in our universe. and the black holes which pierce itself into our universe are parallel in direct connection to the black holes between our legs. These doors that appear in our front view, these vortexes, these doors that appear in our front view can also be examined and understood as black holes, like the black holes in our universe and the black holes which pierce itself into our universe are parallel in direct connection to the black holes between our legs. Yes. So, in another way of speaking, another alternative way out of this present reality is the way in, meaning sexual intercourse, intimacy. So in another way of speaking, another alternative way out is the way in. The way in is another way out. As I explained in Shiva and Shakti, when they made passionate love, when they embraced during the sexual intimacy and passion, black hole entering into another black hole is the way in is another way out, but only with divine passion and being the purest nature of the heart's divine purpose upon entrance. When black holes connect or infuse, keep this in mind, I'm taking it to a more astrological point of view, cosmological point of view at the moment. When black holes connect or infuse in our cosmos, it's called mergers. That's why in the ancient Hindu mythology of Shiva and Shakti, they merge with one another. The merging is symbolic of the two black holes infusing into one another. The two black holes being the hole on top of the penis and the hole of the vagina, which is called the vulval vestibule on the vagina, and on the penis is called the urethral meatus. So when the vulval vestibule and the urethral meatus meet, they merge. Two black holes merge within each other. Or the urethral meatus on the tip of the penis, that black hole merges into the black hole of the vulval vestibule within the vagina. This is symbolic of the black holes in our cosmos, in our universe. This is symbolic of the mythology of Shiva and Shakti. And when two black holes merge in the cosmos, they create a much bigger black hole in the cosmos called area theorem. Now, this was coined by somebody named Stephen Hawking, which was a back in the day astrophysicist. Now, this happened when two microscopic primordial black holes, also known as PBH, form in our universe and detect each other's gravitational waves. By detecting each other's gravitational waves, that's how these two, these two microscopic primordial black holes come together. They come together by detecting each other's gravitational waves. This is the same way that man and woman, or the divine masculine and the divine feminine, create waves and rhythms during love making. This is the divine marriage of the obelisk and the orifice. The obelisk and the orifice. So, there's also something interesting that he said, Stephen Hawking, before he transitioned. he was a little white man in a wheelchair, and he couldn't talk, so he was like typing things in for it to talk for him. It's like back in the 90s and maybe early 2000s. I don't know when he transitioned, but he was saying that there's too small. He once said there's too small microscopic, nanoscopic holes in our universe, in our present universe. Those two holes, before other holes began appearing and began being shown, those two holes were symbolic of Shiva and Shakti, the penis and the vagina, the obelisk and the orifice, the urethral meatus and the vulval vestibule. Little did he know, whether he knew that or not. We're talking from a spiritual point of view, an ancient point of view, a mythological point of view. This is ancient science. So he was just looking at something that we knew all along for tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years. We knew this already. But when he looked up there, or whenever he examined whatever was going on out there, he seen that there was two microscopic holes on both ends of the universe. Now, this is the meeting and the joining of the root chakra and the crown chakra, Shiva and Shakti, the penis and the vagina. And when they meet, a bigger hole, a bigger black hole appears, which is the destruction of the present universe. But remember, nothing is happening out there. That's the holographic universe. That's a damn hologram. That's a petty universe. It's happening in the bioverse, the cellular verse, the nanoverse, your body, your being, your chemistry. This is something to keep in mind and heart. The orifice, or the vagina, also known as the vagina, through a gland called the skein gland, produces and secretes a milky silk-like substance. Now, this is parallel and in direct connection to our Milky Way. Yes. What we call the universe, the galaxy, the solar system, the Milky Way, the cosmos, is nothing but one big vagina, as well as being part of the penis. It's nothing but the blackness of something having cosmic sex, cosmic passion, cosmic lovemaking going on out there, which is what we call inside our body estrogen and testosterone. They're constantly intercoursing, or involved in constant intercourse, for you to remain a woman, for me to remain a man, for this lingam to be hanging between my legs, and for that yoni to be between your legs. The estrogen and testosterone are keeping you what is known as a sex. The sex of male or the sex of female. It's a constant kujaraho or kajuraho, which are the ancient sexual temples of what may be known as ancient pornography in southern India. It's called the Kajuraho temple. And you see these people just having a whole bunch of foreplay, a whole bunch of intercourse, and they got mad different positions. They got their woman, they got the man, they all in different positions. Looks like one big orgy on a statue, on this big temple. There's a few temples out there that have these sexual postures and, depicting all these sexual acts engraved in relief on stone, as well as in gold. It's a sight to see. Let me get back to the point. The orifice, or the vagina, through something called the skein gland, when she's stimulated, produces and secretes a milky silk-like substance. This milky silk-like substance is parallel and in direct connection to our Milky Way. So that Milky Way out there that we are within is something of a grand scale secreting. It's also known as well that what we call the sun, ascending through what we call the universe, or present in our universe, is actually the head of a sperm cell, traveling through the dark womb of the cosmos. This is just a alternative understanding of things, or to may shed light to somebody's understanding. It may do something, turn something on, I don't know. So every time the divine goddess secretes that fluid from her glands within the walls of her endometrium, our Milky Way literally expands. Now this happens on a human level. When she secretes from the skin glands inside of her endometrium in her vagina, as she secretes, our Milky Way expands. The milky silk-like substance, the Milky Way. And when this phenomenon occurs, more black holes begin to appear here in our view, out of nowhere, as a projection, projecting from the passion between the divine masculine and the divine feminine within an eternal embrace. Keep that in mind. Now, this is for those who know about or who've heard of Sirius A and Sirius B. Now, this next point is going on the Sirius A and Sirius B connection to the vortexes and portals. What I've been talking about all along, the doors, the doorways, the Kajiraj A. This is the connection between Sirius A, Sirius B, and the Kajiraj A. Behind our sun is something called a sun tail, which is really a sun trail or luminescent trail of some kind to some degree. This sun tail is also called a heliosphere, a heliosphere. This heliosphere, when locating this heliospheric intelligence within the human body, is the location of where our tailbone or coccyx bone is at. So the tail on the sun tail or the sun trail or the heliosphere behind the sun is symbolic and in direct connection parallel to our tailbone or coccyx bone on the bottom of our spine, right where the root chakra is at. Behind this heliosphere or sun tail is a transparent wormhole connected directly to Sirius B, aka the dog star, because Sirius B is also known as the dog star. Okay. This coccyx bone location is where the astral umbilical connection of where Sirius B is located within the body from an astrologically anatomical point of view. This location is also considered the root chakra or Shakti. Chemically known, its chemical name within the coccyx bone is something called blastocytes. And this is within the marrow or the osseous tissue. The osseous tissue is also the Osiris tissue or the tissue of Osiris in the Amenta, the underdwellings, the underworld. The under is also just inside the bone marrow. The osseous is Osiris. We have the virus of Osiris in our veins. This location is also considered the root chakra or Shakti, chemically known as something called blastocytes within the marrow, the bone marrow or the osseous tissue, which is the Osiris tissue of the coccyx bone. And it's also one of the locations where Shiva and Shakti begin to embrace and rise upward as Kundalini force or serpentine fire, becoming the entwined twin serpents of eternity. This is the whole rising aspect of rising and raising up from the root chakra upward. This happens as a blast. The chemical known is called blastocytes. Look it up. Google the shit. Whatever. It's called blastocytes. This is what blasts in the coccyx bone, but we're doing it mentally, as well as dealing with waves and vibrations, things of that nature, intentionally. These blastocytes blast off and blast the force upward, or turns that energy and transforms it into a force which rises upwards, and the up descending downward to meet in the middle. Now, Shakti is what rises to begin to touch upon the energy centers of the chakra through the engagement of Shiva. Okay. Sirius B is also known as the dwarf star, or Sirius A, Sirius B, pardon me. The smallest dark blue-black hole in our Milky Way that subliminally manipulates and orchestrates celestial positioning in our galaxy. It's Sirius B that manipulates and orchestrates our celestial positioning of these planetary bodies or these zodiacal points in our galaxy. It's Sirius B that does this. Its cosmic behavior acts just as the electron orbiting the atomic nucleus of an atom, but staging this phenomenon activity within our solar system that projects our present reality through the spectrum medium of a sun's light. These vortexes, these doorways, these vortexes we're experiencing is actually Sirius B communicating to us through the portal glowing or glow of Sirius A, calling us back to it internally, back to our primal nature, back to our home of origin. Our astral cord is connected to Sirius B. Now, when I mentioned the word wormhole, when I was talking about behind the sun, or the sun tail, or the sun trail, the heliosphere, it's a wormhole there, literally. Referring back to the word wormhole I previously mentioned, when explaining the connection between our sun and Sirius B, keep this reference in mind. The word wormwood is in the Bible, in the section of Revelation 8:11-13. And the Bible as well is also known as, the Holy Bible is also known as the Holy Umbilical. Keep that in mind. As much as I'm talking about astral cords and connections, the Bible is the umbilical. The Holy Bible is the hole in the umbilical cord. The word wormwood is in the Bible in the section of Revelation 8:11-13. Now, this is the quote that's in there. The name of the star is called wormwood, and a third of the waters become wormwood. And many people died from the waters because they were made bitter. That's the quote in the Bible that mentions the word wormwood. Wormwood is just wormhole. It's the same damn thing. This quote is subliminally referring to a specific revealing, because it's in Revelations, it's referring subliminally to a specific revealing of a wormhole or black hole or doorway, which is actually a stargate, which appears in our view out of compassion for the enlightened ones to begin transcension from their present dimension and vessel. The name of the star was called Wormwood. The sun is a star. The wormwood is the wormhole behind the sun, where the heliosphere is located. And that wormhole is directly connected to Sirius B, which is the black hole, the dark blue-black hole in our Milky Way, in our universe. So these doors which are appearing all around us is directly connected to Sirius B. Astrologically, cosmologically, biologically, anatomically, energetically, mentally, literally, spiritually, mythologically, completely. Now, this is something maybe you can keep in mind as a practice. Black holes are more visible and more obvious during the 4th week or waning moon of every single month. Why? Because the light is leaving. Remember, a doorway is black. It's a black hole that's opening. And I made plenty of examples of when a doorway is present. Just check part 1. Black holes are more visible. Doorways, the Kajraj Ah, is more visible and obvious during the 4th week or waning moon. Why? Because the light is leaving. Which means the potential energy is most furthest from Sirius A, which is the reincarnating entrance, or back into the light. This is where the ancient saying, don't go towards the light, comes from. Going towards the light is going into Sirius A. I'll show you a picture of Sirius A. It's a big, bright, it's the biggest sun, the biggest star in our Milky Way, in our universe, in our cosmos, the most biggest star. And it's a big light. Now, this is when people transition from the body and they see a light in the following life or in between life during the purgatorial state before whether they jump into another body or they go into the darkness or the black hole, which is Sirius B. So when the waning moon is present, the light is leaving, which means that the darkness is beginning to occur. That's when the Kajraj Ah is most potent and has a lot more easy access to it and through it. Am I as I am, as you are? I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you in class. Check out the website. Visit asyouare.com for the classes, courses, consultations, products, and services. I'll see you next time.